All right, and welcome back, guys. It's the Star Trek Strange New Worlds reaction, episode 2. Give me an aspirin or something like that.
Ad aspera per. I can't remember the last one.
Per
It's Latin for
aspercream.
struggle.
It was aspercream. That's what it was. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah. Before we even get into it, I got to say, speaking of the title, I don't know where the fuck they're putting these titles at.
Me neither.
Because I asked my wife on the first episode, I was like, did you see the title? And she, no. And then we kept looking. And so I made it a point to look for this one. Yay, not again. The only reason I know it might be that, what we just said, and probably is because I think I saw it maybe on something, somewhere yesterday.
I think I saw it on the tag.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the only place I saw it.
Yeah. So, and then she mentions it in the show too. So I was kind of putting two and two together. I was like, anyway, that must be the title. Yeah. But anyway, we start out with a young Una who has a very nasty looking break. And
did they? We know it's pretty obvious, but they didn't really like expressly say that,
they
right?
didn't. Well, you don't know until, I mean, like, I think right when, well, I guess they say her name. They must say her name at least.
Maybe they did.
I think that's how it's given away. Because, well, and two, we have the recap. So if you watched the recap and didn't skip over it, like, it literally leads you right up to that because they're talking about her, and then all of a sudden you're in this young. It takes you a second, but I think they say her name or something like that. And then you see the gold. You saw the gold inside her wound, right? Start to show off. So I was like, "Ooh, what's that?" Question mark. So, they didn't really go into detail. She does mention it again later, but it just says it's one of their genetic things. But I don't know if it's a healing property or if she's just like a glowworm or what. I mean,
I think what they intended you to get out of it was like a secondary effect, right? Like it's just
exposing
like
her inner light.
bioluminescence or something.
So she is
right?
a glowworm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm curious about more. You know, if there is more to even be had there. It seems like a lot to show to not be more. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
It seems like it's going to be a theme for at least this season.
Yeah.
The genetic modification and whatnot. I will say right off the top of my head, it's a Star Trek series, so of course we're going to have court episodes, which is what this one mainly was.
Well, and that's one of the notes I had was I love trial episodes in Star Trek. But
I don't think this one did it for me.
No,
I was
just literally about to say I shouldn't give this away this early, but I wasn't feeling it. And it was my note. I was like, ooh, a trial episode. And I wrote it down. I typically love Star Trek trial episodes. They're all, you can go back to the original series with Court Martial with Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
And the original pilot was made into, a trial episode, a two-parter.
Yeah.
And then we had
Hugh.
We had Data.
Yeah.
Hugh. The Klingon defector, he was on board.
Yeah.
He helped the Romulans or something like that.
Can't forget the guy.
That was called Drumhead, I believe, was the name of that episode.
Right.
Okay. And then there was, Archer had to do the Klingons.
Mediation.
Yeah, there's been quite a few. Of course, we've seen them in the movies with the original cast. So it's just typically it's been good stuff, really get into the heart of the matter. Like the one with Data is really great, like proving that he's, sentient. That was one of the best I can think of.
Even the one with Picard was great. The one where he was on that planet.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. They've all been really great. And this one, I just came away. I was telling my wife, because she let me watch this because we were up against the clock. She let me watch it by myself, and I told her, I can't tell you the details, but I just wasn't feeling this one. It wasn't necessarily a bad episode, but compared to the first episode, yeah, it was pretty weak. The first
I'd
episode
have,
was exciting.
yeah, I'd
And
have to say for me the big thing is not that it wasn't so exciting. They missed a lot of beats, in my opinion. They had a lot of opportunity during those court scenes to do more, to explain more, to dive deeper, and they didn't.
yeah. Well, and I thought that you saw the other Vulcan. I wrote his, can you remember his name? Because I wrote it down somewhere down. Was it Prylik or?
It started with a P. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know
was
if
like,
it was Prylik,
Prylik or Prydick or
Olive or something.
Captain Asshole. That's what he looked like.
Right.
He made a little look when the other girl was talking to Leon. She kind of had her back to him, but she was, kind of smiling at the girl, and she's like, "Yeah, you did good." And he kind of,
And you see him kind of cut over.
yeah, he caught it, and you think, "Well, what's going to happen?" And then Spock says what he says, and the guy looks up again, thinking that Spock's about to give up the goods. And I thought, "Oh, okay, so that's where that ends."
Yeah.
But it turns out, no, that look he gave was him coming up there at the end, and taking over the prosecution and doing what he was doing there at the end. So
Yeah.
there could have been a lot more of that in between.
I will say there were parts of this that weren't in the courtroom or revolving around it necessarily that were great.
Yeah.
That scene in 10 Forward I thought was great, awesome.
Brilliant scene where she is MST 3K and the Vulcans is hilarious.
Right? Yeah, it's great.
And then to top it off, Spock comes out like he absolutely had a thrombo with the guy.
So sorry for that
Yeah,
outburst.
I apologize for my outburst. And I'm like,
Right.
bro, that is hilarious because, I mean,
Like maybe a raised eyebrow.
oh, and just, pulling his shirt down when he stands up, just maybe a little slightly too much. Yeah, that was the funniest part. And, I've been used to a little more humor, a little more nice little humor in my Star Trek. Picard had some good stuff in it. And, so I liked that. I was going to say the overall feeling for me was that it was just flat because it was way too soon. I was surprised that we were getting this now. Like so we start off, she's in prison, and you think, okay, well, this has got to be part of the arc, right? Well, it seems like we're already throwing this story out of the way, and it may get a seed of it may get brought up at the end. But first of all, this isn't even supposed to be an arc show, so that's
Right.
one thing I got to call into question. Okay, are we going to be in an arc? Because this is supposed to be standalone episodes, and so far we're a continuous story here.
Well, I mean, I think you could, just pull this out and have it be its own episode.
If it's just a two-parter, I'm fine with it, and that would explain why they've already killed it with her and the court deal. I thought that this would come at the end, but again, when I thought that, I wasn't considering that these are supposed to be standalone episodes. I mean, it kind of came from that, but obviously didn't give it full thought.
And I will say we are going to have an arc because of that whole thing from the previous episode.
Yeah. So I guess they gave up. They enticed us. They got us in the first season. It worked. I like it so far, but I like it less this episode.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say. I was not as excited. I mean, when we're sitting here talking about how much we like trial episodes and then we get one that we don't like, yeah.
I remember the title. It's Ad Astra per As
I've got it written down right here.
Ad Astra per Astrega? No. Per
Asper is the last word. It's ad astra
Asper.
per asper. Ad astra per asper.
Yeah. Sorry, I had it there for like a second.
Yeah.
I was like, I know it.
Add asper to asper cream.
Right. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's all good. What was I talking about?
Wow.
I think I finished the thought. I mean, it's fine. So I wonder. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about getting. I mean, I like it. We're here, but Yeah, an arc. I did like the serialized version. I like the old school setup. I mean, that's what we were promised, and it worked
Mhm.
in season one very well. And it's too early to be hating on season two. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying it just fell flat for me. You know, I had high hopes.
I agree. And you were talking about the timing of it. Do you know like the whole scheduling aspect of this? Everything's already been produced, right?
I think so. I'm really not
Um,
sure. I'm not as plugged in with the production schedules. You know,
yeah. Is there a chance that they're playing musical chairs with the episodes? Like
maybe
it was filmed and
out
they
of
were
order.
like, okay, yeah, and,
Yeah,
and we'll figure out the order later.
probably. I mean, it could be most nowadays most likely that that's the case.
Um,
It's hard to say though. I don't know. I don't know anybody's shooting schedule. When I was a kid, I had so much time to be an Uber nerd. I wish I'd have had the internet back then to be able to find out
right?
more stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know what it is about it. I mean, it did have some good points. That woman was the defense. First of all, there was another good part in there when Una's with her defense or public pretender. I thought that was great because it's pretty
Yeah,
much a commentary on how public defenders are, and that's why
yeah,
I came up with public pretender years ago. Um, if you've ever had to go through the system, and I'm sorry if you have, and ever had to have a public defender, you know it's best to just try and find the money and get your own lawyer. Really, get
yeah.
your own lawyer. Don't put your hands in a public defender. It's just that little scene there is exactly
Yeah, don't trust these shows that have the public defender who is like the champion of the people,
no
right?
doubt.
Who gives
Yeah,
everything to it. No.
that's BS. That's such
These are
BS.
people who, I'm not gonna even say they're bad people, but they're just so swamped,
Well,
It's
and
not like,
most of them are
yeah,
fresh
that's the other
lawyers.
thing.
Yeah.
They're swamped, they're fresh. They don't have the connections that other lawyers do, although they have their own connections through DA's office and whatnot. It's just it's the baseline of representation, right? And it's like she said, it's like, you know, I'm supposed to trust in this guy who's working for
Working
you.
for you. Yeah. Yeah. Another good line. So that's that and the 10 forward scene were the funniest to me.
Mhm.
Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything just really relevant that we need to bring up. I mean, what more can you say about this episode, honestly? Um,
Um,
oh,
well, the scene with Pike, when we first start out, right? He basically suffocates. He's the kid that holds his breath until he passes
oh
out,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, yeah. He wants to see that what's her name, Rena or something like that.
I think
The
that's it.
defense person.
Yeah,
Um, she killed me because she didn't blink. I can't stand when people don't blink, man. It drives me crazy.
that was a little weird.
Um, I had a thought about, and I forgot what it was. Jeez. It almost too again because we in our podcast we recorded earlier. We it was a very political discussion. It wasn't so bad because I've not been too bothered over the years by the way Star Trek handles. I've always thought Star Trek kind of handled social issues fairly well. Like not necessarily beating you over the head with it too bad. Like doing social commentary with aliens was kind of novel back then. And maybe I'm a little more sensitive to it today. As long as I don't feel like I'm being beaten over the head with it. But it's like this could be used as a social commentary for today, obviously, because of her being uh, genetically enhanced, Una,
Yeah.
and basically having to suffer through bigotry. You know,
I had something I wanted to talk about, and well, I don't even know that it's a talking point. It's just a question. Um, do you know when Perry Mason came out? Perry Mason was before the
it was
original
in the
series, right?
'50s. Yeah,
Yeah. So I kind of wonder if that's kind of the inspiration, the popularity of Perry Mason telling them like, hey, maybe we should do a court scene, and then like, hey, that did really well.
Yeah. It could have been. It could have been. I wish I could put my finger on why this just didn't hit for me. And I don't know. I literally fell asleep for a minute, maybe 30 seconds to a minute. I did. I had just ate. I was trying to cram in lunch, and I woke up. The only reason I woke up is because I got to be paying attention to this. I'm taking notes, you know. But yeah, I fell asleep for a half second. It was just, and it was during the court scene, man. And I think it was during the montage where they're getting everybody in the chair, and everybody was saying their
Yeah.
different things.
I honestly, I think I know why it didn't hit for you, and it may be different for me, and I could be wrong. But I think it's just it had a lot to do with identity, and it kind of followed for me, it kind of seemed to follow the trans rights
Yes, that's what I was trying to say
stuff.
without saying it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, and not just that, or any, because just anybody's rights, which is just a big thing right now, and that's what I was trying to say by it. I typically like how Star Trek handles it.
yeah.
I didn't feel, I don't think I felt like I was being beaten over the head with it, so I wasn't totally offended by it. But maybe you're right. Maybe that's the underlying tone that I take, because I don't care. It's just too much. It just needs to be toned down, man. A humility day is what I would love instead of these holidays we get. A humility day would be awesome. I think we really need a humility day. People need to dial it down a notch. Nobody is perfect and unicorn and is above everybody else, and nobody doesn't have any rights that anybody else has anymore.
It's odd. There are a number of nations out there that have holidays that are kind of like that, right?
Oh yeah.
You have the Night of Broken Glass, and like whatever the night where the Luftwaffe bombed England,
Mm-hmm.
right? They had that big force. That's a somber day. Um, you know, we don't really have that here.
Mm-mm. No, everybody, they feel like they need their own day or month or whatever. I mean, God. And I'm not one of those people that says, well, now we got to have a white day or a white month or something like that, because, you always hear those arguments. Well, you've had your whole 2,000 years of whatever. I'm saying you don't need any of it. Why do you can recognize George Washington and Lincoln's birthday and all that good stuff. That's fine. Those were good, I mean, like, historic figures to recognize. I don't know that we need a day off for their birthday. I don't know if we have to go that far. You can have it a red letter holiday for cards. That's pretty much all this shit was made up for anyway. It was the card business.
Right?
But and maybe give banks the day off, like they need another day off. Jesus. Yeah, it's crazy. So, mate, you're
Well, I
right. Maybe
mean,
that was the underlying thing.
if the bank's closed, the federal government's going to be closed.
Yeah. Well, that's ultimately what it's for too. Yeah, give
Right?
them the day off.
Yeah.
Like they need it. I mean, they already get ridiculous time anyway. I'm not talking about the lower government workers. I'm talking about the ones that supposedly rule us.
Yeah.
Anyway, this ain't a political show. This is about Star Trek. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but I think you might have hit it for me. What the nail was there. Wasn't enough
Yeah.
to blow, cause me to rant on here. But
Yeah. And I mean, I don't have any feelings about that particular aspect either, but it does kind of feel like they put so much work into that it distracted
yes,
from the whole.
thank you. That's the best way to put it. I think that's why it did. I guess rub me. I don't want to say rub me wrong because it really didn't annoy me, but I just was like,
It felt empty.
yeah, it was empty, it was empty, yeah, definitely. Um, so if you haven't seen it yet, I hope maybe you get a different opinion than we got. Let us know in the notes.
I'm betting that on our next episode, it's going to be an intrigue episode.
I think, yeah, yeah. I mean, and I knew we were going to end up with Pike. We knew he was going off on this thing, and the whole last episode was all about the Doctor and Rand. I'm hoping we get more of that soon too. But yeah, I think the intrigue would be good. It would be the
Yeah.
best something. I wouldn't even mind if, since we just had a very serious kind of trial deal and now she's going to be coming back to the ship, I wouldn't even mind a
A
little
goofy
playful
episode.
episode. Yes,
Yeah.
sure would. I think that would
It,
be really nice.
it could be early for it, but yes, definitely within the first 5, there should
Yeah,
be one of those.
yeah, yeah. See, episode 3 might be early, but yeah, definitely 4 or 5 it could come in. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think, and I hope they do it. I hope that we see something like that. You know, even I'd prefer a whole episode of it, but if they just did a mostly, I can think if they're going to do it, they do most of the episode anyway. But we'll,
You know what I love doing episodes like that? The playful episodes, and a lot of people don't like it. Supernatural.
oh yeah, they
It
were
ran
great.
too long, and it had this fanfic service thing that a lot of people didn't like. But their trickster episodes,
Yeah,
they were completely different than all the other episodes. They were shot differently. The dialogue was different. Most of your characters were
oh yeah,
different.
it was
Everything
great
going on
stuff,
in the
man.
world was different. And it was just like a total shift. And then you can come back,
Yeah,
right? It's like a reset.
no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, Supernatural. You know, and I didn't catch the last 2 seasons very well, maybe the last 3 or 4, but
Same.
very good show. Even way up into the high season counts, they still were doing good stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm hoping for better stuff next week. You got any? Oh, well, I did want to say one more thing.
Do it.
I almost
Shoot.
like looked at Rand. There was a shot there at the end. I'm still wondering about this chin of hers, man. It's bothering me. I wonder if she's either gotten work. There was a shot, and I swear to God, I don't even know if it might have been just codec artifacts. I
Mhm.
swear I thought they were digitally helping her out. I
Maybe.
swear I saw a blur line under there where they were just trying to just kind of blur it. She looks different. She looks a little better, and it was because of that chin that was holding me back from saying that she was just a nice beauty. She's a
Mm.
good-looking girl, but that chin is just a little too weak for me. And I love her character, but I think
Yeah.
they're helping her. I don't know if she got the surgery or what, but something a little different there.
What we better see next episode, in my opinion, is we better see more Carol.
Yeah.
It's like, where the hell was she this whole episode?
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't think it would have made sense for her to be in there. Do you? I mean, they were pretty much off ship this whole episode, except for 1 or 2
Not in the
times.
courtroom, but there were plenty of opportunities for the
Yeah,
other shit going on the ship or with the crew, and
maybe they
I
just.
think there was room for her in there because they can have comedy in there and it works and it's great, but if you aren't tapping her to put in comedy somewhere, then you're screwing yourself,
Yeah.
in my
No,
opinion.
I do agree with you, but I think also too you want to be careful and sprinkle her in just the right spots. I'm not sure if I could have used her in the episode. I don't know if I would have. I might have just kept her out deliberately, just to have her for something else where I could use her more. Even instead of just having her do a little one-off for the comedy, maybe have her in the next one even more.
Well, I mean, for me, it wouldn't even be necessarily for the comedy. The comedy would obviously be inherent, right? But
Mhm.
it would be background. It would be the stuff that we were talking about.
Well, how about the playful
Learning more
episode
about.
is all her, almost all her.
That'd be great. Full background, full lore dump
Yeah, because we don't
on
know
her
what.
race.
Yeah, we don't know what the story is really with her. So maybe we get a little dump, like you said, of some info, and it's just
I'm
a
all
whole.
for that.
It's a whole little, you know, Wizard of Oz story and fame or something like that.
Yeah.
They're just doing whatever. I'm down with that, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we end up with, because after the beginning, it was a great start, not so great second. I'm hoping for a nice rebound off this one, like
Yeah.
jumping up and down on the diving board, and we're taking that last bounce and we're gonna jump off into the third episode. It's gonna be awesome. That's what I
Yeah,
hope
that's
for.
what I was saying about the scheduling is like
Yeah.
it was high energy on the first one. Maybe
Hmm.
they're trying to bring it down and then even it out and then hit
Yeah.
another high point,
Which is
right?
the exact thing I hate about movies like that. A
Yeah.
great example is Armageddon. I hate that movie for the reason it's like that. That movie is so beyond ridiculous. It's science fiction, yes, but it's science fiction that says that this is something that we could possibly do in the future, and we actually are kind of doing it with that last thing they shot up. But so if you're telling me that this is something we can probably do, then you need to take it down a notch on that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They got into so many situations in that movie and got out of them that I was calling bullshit by the third one, and we were only about first 45 minutes of the movie. Yeah. I hate that movie. It's oh my God, what's gonna happen now? Oh my God, something else is going. Oh, here we go again. It's going. Oh my God. Here we go. Oh my God. Oh God, thank God. Oh my God. That's how annoying it is, because I could go on and on, and that's how annoying it was to me.
No, I mean, like I remember watching that movie, and back then I wouldn't call it huge, but I had a little bit of a crush on Liv. And outside of her, Bill was like the best thing to me, right?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
Pepper's trying
Everybody
to join
say
the
hey to
podcast.
Pepper.
Yeah, nobody's. I don't know. Has anybody met Pepper yet?
I don't think we brought her on.
Pepper is not getting in focus. Let me put her in there. There she goes. Hello, Pepper.
There she is.
Everybody. Pepper is getting a visit from Aunt Flo.
Oh no.
Yeah. See, Pepper's got her diaper on.
Yeah.
Pepper's
always a good investment. I lived in a house with a dog that it was a much larger dog than that, and they didn't do that shit. And I swear to God, I was like, I'm not going in that fucking room.
Yeah, dude, that's nasty and shit, man. Yeah. Why do you want, especially big dogs, bro? That's a lot of blood. She's good. She doesn't have too much, but yeah, I got these little diapers the other day. It's awesome. But she just heard Daddy's little thing right there going crazy, so she's like, "What the hell is going on?" Coming to check on me, think I'm having a heart attack over here or some shit. Yes. All right, man. Any other thoughts you want to give on this before we cut it loose?
Nah, man, I feel like we kind of went off topic a lot, but yeah, I think
that went off topic, but part of, I mean, like it stemmed from what we were talking about, so it's no worries. I don't think we went off that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm good to go. I look forward to next week, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week. And please, God damn it, I always forget to do this. Please hit the subscribe button and hit that like button. I didn't even say nothing about it in the podcast. I always mean to, but please do. And
I'm going to start doing it differently. Don't you dare hit that like button.
And don't subscribe.
Yes.
Damn it.
Only losers do that.
That's right. And we want you to be a loser. So,
yes.
We'll see you next time. As always, be excellent to each other, and we'll see you on the flip side. Peace.